It's Thursday, June 29th, 2023, and I'm Dave Sobel. 3 things to know today. Can Microsoft's pricing model change counterfeit software's popularity? Racial and gender divide in IT leadership remains constant since 2020, and leadership underestimation of employee well-being efforts could worsen retention. This is the business of tech. I'm going to lead with an off-the-beaten-path story today. Reporting in The Hustle focuses on the world of counterfeit software. The piece focuses on Nigeria, where 80% of software packages are unlicensed, making it one of the largest worldwide. Worldwide, 37% of installed software is unlicensed, according to the Business Software Alliance, comprising a market of $46 billion. Terms like unlicensed, counterfeit, and pirated are often used interchangeably to describe the production and sale of illicit software. In the US, 15% of software is unlicensed, but it's an exception. In most countries, there is more counterfeit software than authentic software. Why? One key reason is disproportionate costs. Looking at the price of Microsoft 365 around the world, in the US $69.99 represents 0.1% of per capita GDP, and it's 0.12% in Canada. In Zimbabwe, US dollars $59.99 is 3.3% of per capita GDP, and in Bangladesh, it's 2.71%. Why do we care? It's a fascinating read about the dynamics of the software and services markets in developing countries. There's some great, interesting stories about the marketplaces. I didn't know that the US had as much as 15% software unlicensed. If you'd asked me to guess, it would have been more like 5%. But how about this passage? Experts have questioned whether the counterfeiting problem could be eradicated without massive companies like Microsoft changing their sales models. According to researchers at the University of Bachar, Algeria, these companies' proprietary software leads to high prices, creating a barrier for people in developing countries and furthering a digital divide. While the researchers say software pirates divert the labor of others, they argue that multinationals block the propagation of knowledge. Pricing choices matter, and they drive market dynamics. With the long weekend ahead, this is a good set of insights into how emerging markets respond. Each quarter, this podcast releases our research data on the makeup of IT leadership, broken down by race and sex. By surveying public websites, we're looking to track the change over time. This quarter, we surveyed 300 companies and 4,421 humans across those organizations. 47% vendors, 48% technology providers. This quarter, we found that 89.5% are white and 2.87% are black. The breakdown is also 78.7% male. The data remains similar between vendors and technology providers. Only when we look at publicly traded or Fortune 1000 companies do the numbers improve for women, increasing to roughly 25%. The racial divide remains within 2%. Also of note, this data has been relatively consistent since we began the report in September 2020. Why do we care? This isn't getting any better. The premise remains that leadership teams will draw like-minded thinkers. And so, if they have the same backgrounds, they will naturally be limited to one set of viewpoints. Want to be competitive and take advantage of diverse thinking and all the benefits discussed all week? It starts from the top. And while thinking about leadership, a survey by Deloitte and Workplace Intelligence from March was released. Many employees are still struggling with low levels of well-being, with most of them saying that their health worsened or stayed the same last year, and that leaders do not have a, quote, firm grasp of their employees' well-being. While 77% of executives believe that workers' mental well-being improved, only 33% of employees surveyed feel so. According to the report, An even lower percentage felt their social and financial well-being, at 27% and 30% respectively, are in a better place. Deloitte and Workplace Intelligence found that most respondents are motivated to achieve well-being, with 84% saying that improving their mental, physical, and financial health is a top priority this year. The report said 74% say it's more important than advancing their career. The report said that many workers also frequently feel negative emotions and fatigue. Around half say they always or often feel exhausted or stressed. Why do we care? It's the gap we care about. You do not know your team as well as you think you do. This is the key takeaway. If you're an owner or a manager, see that this gap is real. Employee retention's number one reason is a person's boss. The data says it's not good. This will take far more effort than you think it does, and then some more. Thanks for listening. Today, National Work From Home Day. Thanks again to FeedSpot for naming us in the top 30 business technology podcasts. If you want to reach our audience, we are still looking for a few good Q3 sponsors. Reach out at dave@mspradio.com or find information at our website, mspradio.com/engage. Big button if you want to set up a meeting. Talk to you again tomorrow. The Business of Tech is written and produced by me, Dave Sobel, under ethics guidelines posted at businessof.tech. Like the content? Support the show at patreon.com/mspradio or buy our Why Do We Care merch at businessof.tech. If you want to reach our listeners, visit mspradio.com/engage.
Part of the MSP Radio Network.